The police asked Evan Porter to come to the station and explain exactly what happened during his last meeting with the couple who owned the yacht, Mark and Linda Rivers. Evan arrived willingly and was completely cooperative. He told detectives he had seen an ad for a yacht in a boating magazine and contacted Mark Rivers. They met, went out for a sea trial, and Evan said he loved the boat and wanted to purchase it. On November 18, Evan, along with his pregnant wife Samantha, their small daughter, a notary, and a friend who acted as a witness, met Mark and Linda in the parking lot near the marina. The Porters handed Mark a suitcase filled with cash, the paperwork was signed, and Mark and Linda supposedly took the cash, got into their SUV, and drove away, saying they were heading toward Mexico. When detectives asked Evan how he afforded the yacht, he first claimed he had saved money from doing small acting gigs as a kid. But then he stopped himself and confessed the real story. The money came from a stash he had stolen from a drug dealer years earlier before going to jail. After getting out, he retrieved the hidden cash, but it was hot, so buying the yacht was his way of laundering it. Shockingly, police chose not to charge him with money laundering because he was being cooperative. They interviewed Samantha, the notary, and the witness. All claimed they saw Mark and Linda take the cash and drive off. The only differences were in how they described the couple's behavior. Some said Mark looked nervous, others said everything seemed normal. With no solid leads, police went to the media. Days later, an elderly couple in Mexico called, saying the Rivers SUV was parked across their street. When Mexican authorities checked, a confused man opened the door. He said the SUV belonged to his friend, Evan Porter. Immediately the police knew Evan had lied. He didn't simply watch Mark and Linda drive off. He had somehow ended up with their vehicle. Evan was arrested on the money laundering confession, giving police probable cause to search his home. Inside, they found laptops, cameras, and personal items belonging to the Rivers, things they never would have left behind. Still, Evan insisted he was innocent. His wife Samantha also defended him on talk shows. Police weren't convinced. They brought back the notary, Carla Benson. Under intense questioning, she broke. She had never met Mark or Linda. Evan had paid her to backdate documents that were already signed. Next they questioned the witness, Alex Moreno. When confronted, Alex panicked. Police offered him a deal for a reduced sentence if he told the truth. Alex finally revealed everything. He met Evan back when he worked as a jail guard and Evan was serving time. They stayed friends afterward. In November 2004, Evan told Alex he was a professional hitman hired to eliminate Mark and Linda, and offered Alex $1 million to help. Alex agreed. On November 18, Evan, Alex, and a third man, a large, intimidating gang member named Rico Larson, met Mark and Linda at the marina. The Rivers were uneasy from the beginning. Mark, a former probation officer, immediately sensed danger and suggested rescheduling. Seeing the plan collapsing, Evan called Samantha, who soon arrived with their baby. Linda instantly softened, cooing over the child, and the tension eased. Eventually Mark agreed to the sea trial. Samantha intentionally stayed behind, part of the trap. Once out in open water, Evan and Rico lured Mark below deck. Alex stayed with Linda in the kitchen. Suddenly Linda heard violent noises below, Evan and Rico attacking her husband. Alex grabbed her, forced her to the floor, and handcuffed her. The men dragged Linda downstairs. She saw Mark on the bed, handcuffed, injured, but whispering to her, "It's going to be okay. Whatever happens, we're together." When the boat reached deep ocean, Evan forced both Mark and Linda to sign documents transferring ownership of the yacht and authorizing access to their bank accounts. Linda purposely misspelled her last name, a desperate attempt to show she was signing under duress. Afterward, the men dragged them to the back of the boat. Evan ordered Alex to bring the anchor. The Rivers begged for their lives. Mark even managed to kick Evan hard enough to knock him down, but Rico overpowered them both. The men handcuffed Mark and Linda back to back. Evan attached the bitter end of the anchor chain to their cuffs, lifted the anchor with effort, and hurled it overboard. The chain ripped across the deck, pulling tight. The force yanked Mark and Linda violently toward the edge. According to Alex, Linda's head hit the railing with a sickening crack before they were dragged over the side. The couple was alive and conscious when the anchor pulled them under. Evan celebrated, literally cheering and laughing as he watched the water swallow them. Even though Samantha wasn't on the boat, she was deeply involved. She had helped lure the couple and coordinated with Evan by phone throughout the attack. Later, detectives found the Rivers video camera in the Porter home. The tape inside began innocently, footage of Linda recording their adventures on the ocean. But after several minutes, the tape suddenly cut off. For investigators, this was chilling. It meant the camera had been running during the early moments of the attack before someone stopped it. When detectives confronted Samantha a second time, she cracked. She admitted she knew Evan planned to take the yacht from them, but insisted she didn't know he would kill the couple. She claimed she only helped because Evan told her it was just business. But investigators didn't believe her. Phone records showed dozens of calls between her and Evan on the day of the murders, including one right before the Rivers were forced to sign the documents. Meanwhile, Alex led detectives to a remote storage unit. Inside they found more items belonging to the Rivers: clothing, documents, and a bag containing some of Linda's jewelry. Alex also helped police locate the yacht itself, hidden deep inside a private marina under a false name. With overwhelming evidence, Evan, Samantha, Alex, and Rico were all charged with multiple crimes, including kidnapping, robbery, and double murder. In court, prosecutors presented the gruesome details of the attack. They showed the forged documents, the video camera, and the SUV Evan had tried to hide in Mexico. They even brought in forensic handwriting experts who confirmed Linda's misspelled signature was a sign of duress, exactly what she had hoped someone would notice. Alex testified against the others in exchange for a reduced sentence. His testimony was the nail in the coffin. He described every moment on the boat in vivid detail, including Evan laughing as the anchor dragged the couple below the surface. The jury took less than a day to convict Evan Porter of both murders. He received 2 life sentences without parole. Rico received the same. Samantha, who had helped orchestrate the setup, was sentenced to decades in prison. During sentencing, the judge said, "Mark and Linda Rivers showed you kindness. They let you onto their boat, into their lives. And you repaid them with unimaginable cruelty. To this day, divers have never recovered the bodies of Mark and Linda. The ocean took them instantly, just as Evan intended. But investigators agree on one thing. If Linda hadn't purposely misspelled her name, leaving that tiny clue behind, the case might have remained unsolved forever."